Folks, it is about 2:30 on July 15th, 2021. As you can see behind me, I've got the Uinta Highline Trail ahead of me. We are at the Eastern Terminus. We've already done our car shuttles. We've got one dropped off on the western side, and we've got one dropped off here. We're only going to do like 4.4 miles, give or take, today, just to get up to the East Park Reservoir. And we're going to stay there for the night. So last little bit of water apparently for a long time, but I have a feeling we're going to see more springs and more stuff out than what we expect. But anyway, we're going to stay there tonight. Four miles to get in. Kind of just going to relax and enjoy it, and we'll start our real trip tomorrow, doing some miles. So anyway, onwards and that ways, guys. Hope you enjoy the trip.
Not even a couple hundred yards in and we already got a beautiful meadow that we're going to hike through. Some people said that they saw a herd of elk in here yesterday. Not so fortunate right now, but I don't know, these views are going to be spectacular on this trip. So we're about a couple of miles in and we came to this road junction here, and just thought I'd point this out as something interesting in case you were doing this trail. Can I go down this road for a little bit? And probably no more than 100 yards up the trail or up this road, and jet back into the woods on an actual trail. It hopefully will be nice. Looks like it's just back on a single track instead of that OHV trail that we were coming up to this point. Just came to our first meadow on trail, and it is breathtaking. We're getting little sprinkles from afternoon showers that is to be expected, even though they're not calling for any rain this week. But absolutely stunning. This is why you come out here. So we've made it to the East Park Reservoir, as you can see in front of us. We've got it all to ourselves from what I can tell, and it is beautiful. This is where we're camping tonight. Not a bad place to call home. Subway.
Be fresh.
So it's 6 o'clock and we're at camp. We've done our camp chores. I've got my water, ate food, and set up. I'm ready to go in my tent and go ahead and do some stretching and kind of just relax a little bit here. You can see the reservoir in the backdrop here. This is our campsite for night. That's our view, and it's absolutely gorgeous. Starting off on the trail, it starts off on an OHV type of path, road, whatever you want to call it, and it goes up for about 1.5 miles, 2 miles, and kind of rocky through that area. Not really bad, but you got to kind of watch your step. But then once you get to the top, it starts to level off, and you'll connect with a road for like about 100 yards, dirt road, and then you'll hang off the left on the single track. And once you get to that, everything starts to just become what this is about. It's beautiful, gorgeous meadows, beautiful, pine forests all around us right now. And we're just starting. We're not even into the good stuff yet, as they say. I think it's all good, but real buggy tonight. That's one thing that's kind of been a little bit of annoying. Down getting water, they were really bad, especially when you're sitting still trying to pump water. And this is technically day one, but we're going to call it day 0.5 because we just kind of came in our real trip starts tomorrow. Our full day starts tomorrow. So tomorrow will be actually technically day one. We were thinking about camping at the trailhead, depending on what time we got here after a long drive in, but we got here about 2:30, so we decided to hike about 4 miles up. This way we can get water tomorrow morning. We get camel up in the morning. I think they say it's about a 15-mile stretch without water, but I've seen some other reports that say that with the runoff, there's still some like streams and things you can get in there. So we'll camel up. We'll take about 2.5 liters of water with us, and we're still carrying that full 8 days of food, which is really heavy. So really, that's nothing else to say about today. It was just a wonderful 4.5 miles, and just a really enjoyable start to the trip. So on to tomorrow. Well, good morning, everybody. It is about 6:30 on day number, we'll call it day number 2, since we're starting. But anyway, it was a pretty quiet night, eerily quiet, like no like crickets or anything like that. Started to rain from 9 to about 9:30, so I got a wet tent I had to pack up this morning. And we had some campers roll in, probably about 8:30. Kind of be a little bit noisy playing music, which you see this whole vast thing here around me. There's no reason to set up camp right next to us, but they did. Just one of those things, I guess. But gorgeous morning, gorgeous night. A lot of cows around here. Heard them mooing all night long. And obviously I showed you the landmine field that I set up in last night. It's all around here, so a lot of cows. Anyway, we got about 15 miles today. I think we're going to go to Lake Park Reservoir is where we're shooting for. That's where we know there will be some water. We're not exactly sure if we'll have some between there and here, but with the rain and possibly some runoff, I think we'll be okay. Anyway, big climb, onwards and upwards. So we're just shy of 9 o'clock and decided to just take a little snack break here. Found ourselves a beautiful little meadow, and so far, terrain's been really, really good. Very gradual incline. A couple times we had to pull out our GPS. One was for a huge blowdown area. Not quite sure what was going on with that. And there's been a couple areas. The trail's pretty well marked, but there are some like old logging roads that were up in this area. So they kind of throw you off a little bit here and there. So I would recommend having a GPS. Obviously know how to do your map and orienteering. But they have a lot of cairns and little signs with the 025 sign on it. So really beautiful. I'm going to sit here and enjoy this for a little bit, and then we'll mosey on. Oh, we did speak to 2 other hikers that actually were heading back. Their campsites are over here, but apparently there's a lot of, or not a lot of water on this section. And one guy, he actually had hiked this trail before, and he was telling me, give me a little bit of lowdown. So we're hoping, I was hoping for some water along the way, but I think that we might be having to go all the way to Lake Park to get the next water source. So we'll see how it goes, but it's a wonderful day. We're just going to sit here and enjoy this beautiful breeze and beautiful views. So this is where things get a little dicey in these little areas here. You can see that there's so much blowdown in this general vicinity that you can't even tell where the trail's at. So we're kind of hunting and pecking right now, trying to figure this out. Oof, gonna make for slow miles. Just climbed out of the meadow here, and somebody was nice enough to make sure we didn't miss the turnoff here. Pretty good climb, I think, with 300 feet to get to this point, but nothing bad considering all the nice gradual walking we had today. So I apologize about not getting a whole lot of video today, and I don't know if that's going to show. There's a mountain range right there, and that's looking south from the UHT. We're heading west, which is that direction. And I'm not sure if we're heading over there, but tomorrow we will be in some high mountains. So looking right there in the center of the screen, I believe that is Leedy Peak, and we are going to skirt around the left of that and up and over that pass. We still have a few miles to go before we can get to some water, hopefully. We ran into some people doing it eastbound, and they said there was a little stream about 3-4 miles just up above Long Park Reservoir. So hopefully we'll get some water there, and then we'll probably find a place to camp and then get up early tomorrow and get over that before the thunderstorms in the afternoon come over. But nice day today. Right there in the center of the screen, that's Leedy Peak. And once again, we're in one of these beautiful meadows. We've got the high Uintas in the background there. And I don't know, these are actually just as amazing as all those big mountains to me. All right, we just filled up our water. A little brown, but not the worst thing I've ever filtered. And also a lot of cow poop around here, but once again, it just adds flavor. But we've got heavy packs. I've got what, 2, 3, like 6 liters of water right now. We're just going to probably go across the meadow here, find a good campsite, and that's where we're going to call home tonight. I know it's another horrible campsite that we picked out, but anyway. So with that being said, I'm going to go over there. I'm going to get some grub in my belly, and I'm going to lay down. So I'm sitting here at the end of day 2. That's my backdrop for this evening. That's what I'll be actually going to go in the tent here and lay down and just sit here and stare at that for a while. It's about 6:15, as I said, and I've already eaten and done all my camp chores, things like that. So I'm just going to go in there and lay down. Today's highlights to me were all these meadows. There was 4 of these. Now, I didn't do a lot of video today, which I apologize for, but a lot of it was through the woods. But I think there was 3 or 4 of these that I came out into, and every time it just made it all worth it. And actually, I really enjoyed walking through the woods as well. It just, you know, I think it would have been redundant to keep showing you the same thing over and over again. But anyway, from end of night 2 on to day number 3, we're going to head up and around Leedy Peak. So getting into the high country and over our first pass, and no more worries of water. So good night from day 2, guys. Well, it's 6:30 in the morning, day number 3, and we're just hitting trail. Had a beautiful sunrise over that meadow that we were camped at last night. Other than that, uneventful night. A lot colder this morning than it was yesterday, but that's to be expected as we get closer to the high country here. So anyway, big climb today. I think we started off with like 1,800 feet over 7 or so miles, give or take a little bit here or there. And then we'll try to make it to a lake tonight, roughly 15 miles from where we're at today. So should be another beautiful campsite. Onwards and upward, guys. Just a little after 8 o'clock, and we made it to the Leedy Peak trailhead. You can see big old mountain there right behind me, and we're climbing. So it's been a steady climb up till this point. Most of it's been through the woods, and then the last half mile, I'd say, or so has been up the dirt road to this trailhead. And we've got a pretty good climb. I think about another 800 or 900 feet till we crest over the first pass, and then we have a couple more between there. There's Unterman Peak, I believe it is. It'll be after this one, we'll see. I think it's hiding behind that. Onwards and upwards. Beautiful shot here of Levy Peak. Right there to the left of it is where we're going to be heading up. And up and up and up. Another beautiful shot looking back south of Lady Peak. Just before we get to the pass here, we crest over and head over to the next pass. Not sure what the names of them are. So I found my way back on trail, and it just got better and better. So that's, I believe, Mount Utterman there, and an unnamed lake below me there. But beautiful, just absolutely beautiful. And the haze is lifted a little bit from the fires, so we're getting some really nice views. We came back from that direction. So I just came across the top, and I apologize. That is Mount Utterman right there. And I am getting these just stunning views. Hope the camera picks up some of this. Well, it's about 11 o'clock and we have gone over our first pass, which is Gabbro Pass. I'll have to go on David's knowledge on this because I don't have the topo maps. But anyway, we have a little bit of a flat spot here until we make our next climb over our next pass, and I'm not sure what the name of that one is either. But we got just 2 more climbs today, and the scenery, I have to apologize for this earlier. I have insomnia, and it's not the greatest thing when you're at home, let alone when you're out on trail and have to, hike 15 miles a day. So I looked a little rough this morning. I sounded a little rough this morning. But now that I'm up here and looking at all this, it's making it a little bit easier to get through that. So hopefully I'll tire myself out enough today and I'll be able to sleep tonight. But I know the day's only going to get better from here. So I'm sure I'll have plenty to show you guys. Almost 11:05. How cool is that? So looking straight ahead, we are going to be going up and over that pass right there with the snow in the middle of the screen. I think we're going to go up and then skirt along that to kind of give it a little bit of a grade. But I think I see a couple people up there right now. So I definitely know we had a couple people ahead of us this morning. Just saw a couple people down here this afternoon. So I think that's where we're headed. So we've come into view here, and I'm not sure, there's no name on the GPS that I have for that lake. And there are 2 other hikers right there. So we're going to try to make our way up over the top of that. Try to smile.
Cross too fun, man. Cross too fun.
So looking back from where we came, we started over there and we dropped down just to the left of this lake and made our way off trail for some of it and then on trail as we made our way over to the snowfield. Now, unfortunately, the snowfield is not really safe to pass, so we dropped down the same way that these 2 young ladies are doing here and back up to the trail where we're on now. Pretty steep cornices up there at the top. That's probably about good 10-15 feet. Don't look like it from here, obviously, and we don't have ice axes, but we're going to follow this side up around and then to the top. So course correction or name correction, this is Gabbro Pass here, and I figured I would take you over to the other side just to see what I'm going to see as I see it. It's looking beautiful. A little bit of storm clouds in the distance there you can see, but that's not to be unexpected in the high terrain areas in the afternoon, and we're about 12 o'clock now, so we're gonna see if we can get down. We got one more descent and climb again, and then the rest of the day will be downhill. And just a pan over the other side of the pass. We're going to be heading off in that direction, and that's one of the climbs that we have to get over. And there's a lake down there. I think that's Dead Man's Lake. I'm not exactly sure. And just to give you a better idea of the route we're going to take, right down there in the center past David, that's Dead Man's Lake. We're going to go around to the right of that, and then we're going to skirt that shelf to that pass right over there with the trees at the apex there and cross over. That's our last pass today. Steak. It's what's for dinner. And there's a whole bunch of it around Dead Man's Lake. So we're just about over the top of the pass here at Dead Man's Lake. And we sat there for about 45 minutes. But you can see the views that we've got all around us. This trip was well worth it. So here's the view from the other side of the pass, just past Dead Man's Lake. And this thing did not disappoint either. We're heading down into the valley there to the right. Looking down there in the distance, that looks like a white rock lake. You can see how little water they've had this year. Would explain why we didn't have water for the first, for 15-mile range. But there's some going in there, and we're going to go past that. We're going to Chipeta Lake, I think. Here's another view of the lake. You can see how low it is. I mean, we're only in the middle to end of July, and it's real shallow. Through a beautiful meadow. We're probably about an hour from Chipeta Lake. Wish I knew what that mountain was named in front of us. I looked at the map and I didn't see anything on there, as well as the one behind us. But every time we get to these meadows, it kind of takes over you. Stream that I assume is pouring out of Chipeta Lake up here, and that beautiful mountain in the background. So we finally made it to Chipeta Lake. I think we're going to cross the dam here, and we're going to go camp somewhere over there, but there's going to be that view in the background. You can't beat it. Well, we are at the end of day 3. If I look tired, it's because I am tired. We did a little over 17 miles today, and we didn't really plan on doing any more than maybe 13 or 14, and we've already knocked out almost an extra day moving into the trip. So good thing is, that way we're not having to worry about chasing anything. My buddy here, David, he's got to be back at a certain time for work, so we've got to kind of make sure we get back on time. But I've had, like I said, I looked really bad this morning, and I felt really bad. It was 2 nights of no sleep, and then having to push those days, and it's really, really hot. I would probably say it's in the 90s in the sun, direct sun. Mornings, it was cold this morning, but anyway, the hike up the first portion of the trip was kind of finishing up that tail end, which I think most people start at that Leedy Peak trailhead. And with that being said, I could see why, because as tired as I was, when I came up and I just kind of saw Lady Peak, I got a shot of adrenaline and I felt good the rest of the day. It was a lot of walking through alpine meadows, beautiful mountain views all around you. We had a lot. It actually worked out really good too, because there's a lot of places where there's woods, and during the heat of the day in the sun, it actually kind of offered a little bit of relief from that. But overall, a great day. I can't wait to see what tomorrow's going to bring. I think we discussed it, we're probably going to do about 14 miles to another set of lakes. They're not named, but it looks like a good place to set us up for the next day to get up over the pass where Kings Peak is. So with that being said, hopefully I get some sleep tonight. Good night from day 3. We'll see you tomorrow. Well, good morning, folks. It is the morning of day number 4, and we are on trail at 6:30 in the morning again. Real quiet night last night. It sprinkled for like, all of 10 minutes really lightly, but my tent was actually dry for the first time waking up in the morning. And anyway, beautiful sunrise. We got about 14 miles, like I said, today, and gonna end up with some no-name lakes. I'm sure I got plenty to show you. Onwards and a big upwards this morning. By this no-name lake, and the reason I wanted to point out, I think that is the pass that we're going to go over. So a little ways to go, big climb coming up. But just looking at the progress we've made down here in the center, that's the lakes that I came by a while ago. Actually crossed that, and then if you look across that ridge there, that's where Chipeta Lake would be. So we've come quite a ways, but still got a long ways to go up. We just reached the top of the first false summit. I guess we have a little bit more to go, but there's an unnamed lake, or 2 of them actually in there, and beautiful alpine tundra. And then looking back towards where we came. I'm just getting ready to crest over North Pole Pass, and looking back over here, we came down the trail all the way down into where, altitude. I can't sure if I'm pointing in the right direction here, but over that little bump, and then it zigzagged all the way through here. Now there's a lot of nice switchbacks. It doesn't change that you're coming up around 11,800 feet, a little bit above that. So let's head over to the pass and I'll show you the other side. So just cresting over North Pole Pass, and I'm going to show you what's behind me over here to the left in a second, but I'm pleasantly surprised, and the smoke is cleared out, so the haze is relatively gone. There's no storms in the sky right now, and I wasn't expecting this. It's just amazing. So let me turn this camera on and show you what I'm looking at. There you have it. This is what we're hiking into for the next several days, and we're not sure. We were kind of debating if that was Kings Peak or not. It's the highest peak in that range, at least from what we were talking about. So that's where we're heading here. I think maybe tomorrow, and that may be the pass just to the left of it. Just getting to the other side. Down there in the basin is Fox Lake. I wasn't expecting that. That is absolutely gorgeous. Well, it's morning of day 5, and I've been kind of reluctant to make this video, and I'm not good in front of the camera. I do it for the videos, but this one's a little bit different. Unfortunately, my hiking partner has an old injury that kind of reared its ugly head again, and we're gonna have to bail on the trip. And I'm not angry, I'm not mad, just sad, because I was feeling really good, and I saw what we have coming up, and to me it's not the conquering of a through hike or anything like that. It's just being out here in this, away from all the chaos and the craziness of what this world is. And it's a sad moment, but we're gonna try to make it back to Chipeta Lake and see if we can get some kind of hitch or something back into town. But it's a sad morning. So anyway, I got to get rolling, and we're gonna keep moving.